In June of 2021, I was at my prime of being an artist. I was in my lovely little art career that I had been working on. I had been an artist for 10 years, and I finally got to a point where I thought I was becoming successful. I had opened up a new gallery, and my face was everywhere, and I was very well received in the area, and I shut it down. I was put in a position with my business partner that I had an ultimatum: if I keep the gallery open, but I didn't have any say in what I created. You just end up becoming like a machine of painting tourist shit and commission work and painting for other people, and I wasn't having it anymore, so I shut it down. I shut it all. I lost everything. I lost a lot in a very, very short amount of time. And I basically became homeless with my husband and my two small kids. Started new. We landed at my mother's house. She took us in about a month or two after it all happened. I just had this feeling I wanted to paint again. And I just remember thinking, like, what the f*** is wrong with me, May? I have been working on being an artist for 10 years. Nothing. Like, look where it got me. Nothing to show for it. I'm homeless. I'm living at my mother's place. I blew all of our savings into getting the gallery running. I have no artwork right now. I don't even have anything I could sell because I had to throw it all away because I couldn't even afford to ship it anywhere. And man, you should have seen the faces on the guys who were working at the transfer station as I was chucking an entire show of 4-foot panels over the cliff. They didn't offer to help me. I clearly was managing on my own. She-woman, just chucking it. But I had nothing. I have nothing to show for it. And I'm like, what is wrong with me? That I still want to paint. I still want to create. I'm like, yeah, right. Like, next thing I'm gonna lose my husband is because he thinks I'm whatever. He supports me, but at that moment, so choppy waters, I guess. I mean, it was beyond stressful, and I'm still like, oh, I'm just gonna paint some pretty pictures. But what happened was I released myself, my fear, and for the first time in 10 years, I started painting for myself again, and it feels amazing. So after we landed at my mother's, I got really sick. At the time of opening the gallery, I had discovered a lump in my throat the size of a golf ball. And so I naturally did what I do best, and I ignored it until a couple months later. I finally got so sick I could hardly drag myself into the hospital. And I'm like, yeah, good one again, May. Here we are. Now I'm on my deathbed. After months of being a human guinea pig, of getting poked and prodded and scanned and zapped and whatever you want to call it, having the fears just struck into you. I was diagnosed with cancer. But this isn't a story about dying. It's a story about how I finally started living. That feels good. I decided I'm not going to get the surgery. I'm not getting treatments. I saw 3 different specialists. and they all told me the same thing, that it would be a miracle for me to heal myself, and that I had a 0 chance of it going away on its own. I can't get myself to do the surgery because I realized I have been sick and tired my whole life. I have always worried about what other people think of me. And I've never allowed myself to be the best version of me. That's why I knew getting the surgery wasn't going to change anything, because I was the cancer. That I knew for sure. The doctor, the first one, Dr. Scissorhands, the first thing he told me was that I had to have my whole thyroid removed, no matter what, just because of the size of the tumor, and live on medication the rest of my life. And he was the first one to say that it's been growing for 4 to 5 years. My daughter had just had her 5th birthday, and that was when I knew I did it to myself, because during that time I got really severe depression, and I stopped painting, and I didn't get help because I felt that I didn't deserve it. And anyone who knows or has been depressed, you don't get help because you feel that, right, you don't deserve it, or that you know that there's nothing actually wrong with you, and you're just bothersome to everyone around you, and it's a very lonely place. And I knew that was it. I did it. It was me. I'm the cancer. I was just so frustrating with the doctors that I was going to, and it was terrifying because you're waiting on phone calls, and you're getting test after test, and that's not how I wanted to live the rest of my life. I have seen sickness in my family. I have lost my entire side, my father's side, to cancer. I'm done. I'm done with it. I'm tired of being sick and tired. And that was one promise I made, was my daughter is never going to know what the word cancer is. Not from me. Because that's not who I am anymore. And it's been a journey of processing it, and choosing this path of natural healing. I know it's right. Because no doctor can heal me. No doctor can change me. When you're diagnosed with cancer, one of the first things they start talking to you about and throw numbers out there of your life expectancy. And if the chances of you surviving if you get the surgery are 90% in 5 years, and blah blah blah. And the thing is, they don't know, and I don't know. No one knows. It's life. There is no guarantee. The last conversation I had with my doctor was, what happens after the surgery? What happens after I have my thyroid removed? He said that, well, you keep coming in and getting tests and checking your thyroid levels, and then those tests become farther and farther apart, as long as they're well and they look good. And then eventually we just go on intuition of, if you're feeling better, then you must be doing better. And so I said, whoa, hold up. Yeah, how about we start there? I would like to start there. Because I've changed so much in such a short amount of time, if you see it in the big scheme of things. And sometimes it's hard to be patient when you're sick and tired and you just want to see better results. I have been trying different diets. I've been exercising. I've been getting outside. I've been painting for myself. It's the best I've felt since I can remember. And why would I change that? Why would I fix that? That doesn't need to be fixed. I don't need to be fixed right now. And there is no guarantee. Every day I walk out that door right now, I've become so grateful for my life and what I have, from everything I have freed of just this mental slavery of what I need to be doing. I should always be doing something. I have this like anxiety all my life of I'm not doing enough. If I'm dying, then let me die, because this is amazing. Like, and you don't know, because where I'm standing right now, like, there could be a bear jump out and maul me right now, and it's like, that's fine, because I am doing exactly what I want to be doing right now, is talking with you guys. And that's it. It doesn't get any better than that. I am the creator. And realizing that with my artwork, I had this the super like I had this show a while ago, and it was just all odds and ends of pieces that didn't sell from other shows and a few new ones. And I think I called the show like Organized Chaos. And I had a client see the show, and I'll never forget it. She told me that looking at all this art on the wall, it's all so different. But what I love about it is I can tell that you made it. And I think that is the most important thing in life to realize, is that I am the creator. Every day I step out that door, every person I talk to, every meal I make, every compliment I do, every negative thought, I create it. I am creating my own world. Work in a coffee shop and you make someone a coffee, they don't love that coffee, they love you. They love you because you made it. You gave it to them. And it wouldn't exist if it wasn't for you. You know, it's an experience. It's what you put into it. And we don't give ourselves enough credit for that. And we should. This life is beautiful. It shouldn't take for us being diagnosed with cancer to finally see that. You know, for me, I had to hear it. I had to hear the words cancer, or else I wouldn't have made the changes. And sometimes you do need like a swift kick in the ass. That's what cancer does, is it sets your pants on fire where you're like, whoa, huh, makes you get up and go. You know, I wouldn't wish it on anyone. And that is why I'm doing these videos, is because you don't wait. I hope you do realize that you can create your day today. You can create the life you want to live. You can be healthy if you want to be healthy. Like, you are the creator. And you need to hold yourself responsible for what you are creating. You know, it's not your parents' fault. It's not your boss's fault. It's not your husband's fault, or girlfriend, significant other, whoever. It's yours, really. Sorry, but not sorry. It's your fault if you're not where you want to be in life. And you don't need to be anywhere but where you are. And that's perfect. Like, if you are constantly thinking tomorrow is going to be a better day, then, well, that can be great. But if you can't be happy now, tomorrow, if you can't be happy in this moment, and not to say that you can never have bad feelings, I still have doubts, and I still have moments of like, maybe I'm crazy, but that's okay, because, you know, life's good. I'm okay with being crazy. And, when I first started meditating after being diagnosed, I kept seeing myself in the tumor, like curled up in a little ball, like crying, because that's what I did when I was depressed. Is I literally, like, I would try to go up in my art studio and I would just curl up in a ball on the floor and cry. I just couldn't do it. I could not even, and not just paint, but anything, whatever, any moment I had, I would just cry. But I see it as a transformation, because the thyroid is also a butterfly shape. And when I first started going for my walks, I started walking every day. It was like in the spring, and it was like I felt like a Disney princess. It was just like everywhere I went, there was just like these butterflies flying around. And I kept trying to get them on video, but those little bastards are fast. When you get diagnosed with cancer, you don't have to die, but a part of you does. And I'm okay with that. I'm willing to let that part of me go. And that's scary as hell, walking into the unknown of finally being who you are, because I've never done it before. I always had this idea of who I needed to be and where I needed to be. I let it go. And I'm free. For once in my life, I'm free. I'm finally me. And it is funny because it's like even my fears that I have now, I see it as like I like crashed my bike and the wheel is like still turning. And like I see it as like that's my fear. It's almost like a residual energy of like, no, like I'm done with that. But sometimes it's still going. It's still there, but it's slowing down and becoming much less frequent. And a lot of that time, that fear, it's someone else's voice. It's someone else's opinions that I'm worried about. I'm like, oh, what's that doctor going to think of me? Or what's this family member going to say? Because I haven't told anyone. So I didn't want their opinions. That was something I realized is I finally told 2 other people outside of my household, and they both thanked me for telling my story. And that kind of gave me that indication of I'm on the right path. Like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I know I can heal myself. For once in my life, I'm betting on me. And that feels good. Alright, that's it. That's all I have. Done for now. I'm gonna go back home before my family thinks a bear got me. So, until next time, happy living. Much love.